how to network and get from high value customer to high value customer. Okay, so using that time where he's actually performing, even though it's HVAC work, all right, whoever called in that work order and said, "Hey, come in here, come to this hospital medical facility and, fix this HVAC." Well, he's in a really good position because when he changes his business name to, what's your name of your business, Gregory?
Revival Government Solutions.
Yeah, Revival Government Solutions. Okay, so if you look at that name, Revival Government Solutions, that is not it's not Revival HVAC or Revival Heating and Cooling. Okay, Revival, a government solution, that is pretty much the scope is wide open. All right, they're not just going to scope you into, HVAC, heating and cooling or whatnot. Revival Government Solutions means, hey, you're a government solution provider. So when he's there talking to the head shed about, hey, here's what happened to this HVAC. Here's what I did to it. Invoice will be in the air as soon as I, get to my computer, yada yada. He's gonna say, hey, it's a pleasure working for you. I love doing business with you guys, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything else because we do so much more than just HVAC. That's you're barely scratching the surface. If you need a quote for anything, even if it's in the idea phase, it all starts with a quote for your market research. So please don't hesitate to reach out because if I can't do it, I know the people who can, the best people in the area. Other than that, everything's fixed. Have a great rest of your week. And you always follow up an email. Another thing you could say is hey, while I was doing work here, fixing this HVAC, I noticed your fire suppression system starting to, kind of come apart, kind of unbolt from the ceiling. Do you have the point of contact that I could reach out to just to let them know that hey, you might need some updates to your suppression system because fire suppression is expensive. All right, HVAC's expensive. It's all really expensive. It's expensive. It all falls under facilities maintenance. So not that you have to be stuck on DLA TLS, but under DLA TLS, overarching contract, there's FES, SOE, and then there's MRO, maintenance and operations. So he's networking and developing business with the person he's in front of with the government, but then he's also saying, "Hey, I found another problem. Who's the point of contact I would be reaching out to for this fire suppression system?" Just to at least give you a quote because this thing's coming apart and it's going to be a problem in the future. All right, you don't have to limit it to fire suppression. It could be anything that you see in that facility, no matter what government customer you're in front of. Who's the point of contact who you would reach out to fix this? All right. And that's just an example of networking from one high value individual to another. Okay. Because they each have different sections, they each have different lanes they're responsible for, and they're all in charge of money. So even if you can get to their right hand man, who's probably the person who's actually putting it to get everything together anyway and actually submitting it to go to a contract, it's not usually the main director. They usually have an assistant or a deputy, underneath them, and that's the person who does everything, who actually does the thing. So a lot of the times, those are the people you want to get to, and that could be for, hey, this magnetic gate, the badge reader's not working or it's jiggling and it's loose and it's falling off. Man, it looks like you're going to need a new one. Who's head of your security? Would you mind giving me that point of contact, man? I just want to let them know that hey, there's something new. This is pretty old. There's already the new hotness is already out, and I just wanted to give them a quote and let them know because it's you want to be proactive.